Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Collaborative Podcast. My name, as always, is Tyler, and this is our founder and CEO, timnihill. And the title may suggest something that is pretty jarring, but you're going to see kind of where we go in this because there is a good reason for it. I did tell you what we're calling this episode, correct?
No, you didn't. This episode is brought to you by Starbucks, venti with a double shot.
Yeah, we wish. No, it's called the AI Advisor.
Oh, the AI Advisor.
And the reason is because I feel like today we should be we're going to be exploring a little bit of really the rapid acceleration that we are seeing in the space of artificial intelligence, automation, digital infrastructure, and kind of what it means for the future of professional work in the advising industry, which I know you've seen quite a lot of being in the field yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what to share with other advisors, but yeah, AI's here. So I don't know what to tell people, but it's here. It's the next generation of advisement and advising. And, you know, it's going to wipe out the probably 60 to 80% of all professionals that are currently employed in the financial services community today. 60 to
80%? Where do you get that statistic?
From personal use.
I mean, in the sense of like,
okay,
how
so
did you
for
come
example,
to it? How'd you come to it?
Because it's personal. I already know. Like, I've built plenty of back offices, broker-dealers, financial advisory firms, all that jazz, right? So, the advisory world has a big issue. They have a trust problem, and they're not trusted advisors. Mm-hmm. Most advisors truly are not trusted. So the next generation of technology is designed to replace them, right? And it's not just you're replacing the advisor, you're replacing the access to advice, the information available to people, and then the delivery and the speed of delivery for everything, right? So let's take it, for example, I have my own office. I'm an advisory firm, family office, whatever. And traditionally, I would have salespeople, service people, compliance people, investment people, yada, 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 whatever. Mm-hmm. Even in the broker-dealer space. And you can take this to, like in my broker-dealer world when I was at Commonwealth. So, with today's technology, right? And our technology that we use is private. Like, this isn't, you can't go out and just buy ChatGPT and adopt it as an advisor because you have information and control issues, right? Like, you can't just put information on another server and a public server like a ChatGPT or a Grok or whatever, mm-hmm. right? So, our stuff that we use from a work perspective is private, okay? And just kind of hear me out. This is a little long-winded answer for this. So I'm going to just use the investment side because that's what ultimately most financial professionals are doing is they're delivering asset management. It's just how it's packaged and sold. Is it a financial plan? Is it asset management? And just investment strategy, whatever. In our world, is it fake family office where someone just raised their minimums and calls themselves a family office, you know, that type of stuff. So anyways, let's say hypothetically I have my entire block of business, right? And I have my entire investment platform. Now, traditionally, I would have an asset management team, which could be 8 or 9 guys and gals, 10, depending on how large the firm is. You know, we cover every investment, stocks, bonds, cash, ETFs, mutual funds, alternative investments if you do that, cryptocurrencies if you do that. You know, that's for us 5%ers out there that do both. Maybe even 1%, because really only 1% of us out there, even less than 1%, do investing, alternatives, and digital assets and have any clue about them. And only one of us out there has a 5-year track record. So, if you want to really see if your advisors out there are doing this, then ask them what their 5-year track record in crypto is. So you have this entire infrastructure to do all this investment management and deliver it through your client base, right? And then from my perspective, I come from the risk management side, where at BlackRock we analyze more risk than people can possibly fathom with the Aladdin system. So think of the infrastructure from a BlackRock perspective, from a broker-dealer perspective, from an investment management perspective, on how much human capital goes into the delivery of investment advice, portfolio management, all that jazz, right? So if you're an advisory firm, you probably have, if you don't have a back office that you're outsourcing to, right? Like at Commonwealth, we had PPS, which we had 10 to 15 people on at the time doing each specific sleeve and all that jazz. And you have your own people or you outsource it. The long and the short of it is I've developed a system where I can analyze risk to a greater extent than even what I did at BlackRock. It covers all asset classes. I could do all my investment due diligence for my alternatives and dissecting all of the financial information when you're doing your due diligence, the hundreds of pages of information, right?
Yeah.
And then tie it all together under one big loop and look at my entire book of business all the way down to each client individual, match their risk tolerance, blah, 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 whatever. I can do all of it inside of 5 minutes across my entire book of business.
So that's
with
why, okay.
technology. So I don't need my investment management. I don't need my large cap guys. I don't need my small caps. I completely replace my investment and alternative due diligence teams. Like our due diligence level, because we've been in the alt space for so long. I mean, I started doing alt in 2003. And it's the due diligence levels, because even by the time it gets to the clients, there's 7 layers there between, federal, state, regulators, and all that crap. So I've taken what I've done traditionally, which has been segmented and tied together with shoestrings and paper clips and rubber bands and duct tape, and how I can seamlessly deliver it, analyze every piece of information you could possibly fathom, and then apply it not only on a global book perspective for my firm, and tying all my assets together and analyzing my entire risk as a family office and all of our investment strategies and how they all work together to find all of the risks that are overlapping like we did at BlackRock, and then apply it to my clients and their specific risk tolerances and their appetites and their estates and all that stuff at the click of a button. So now my investment management team, my alternative investment due diligence team just went to 0.
So it sounds like...
And my investment management team probably went to 1.
So it really does sound like AI isn't just a future trend. Like, it's an operational reality already.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, it sounds like what you're saying is people are already seeing AI-generated market commentary, automated portfolio tools, stuff like that. I'm kind of wondering, along that same vein, before we move on...
Well, you're seeing it out there. It's just not there yet, but it's here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I meant in the sense of like people are starting to use it actively.
Advisors are not, no.
Really?
Correct. They can't. They don't have a solve for this. We're so far behind the times from a regulatory perspective, from a fiduciary perspective. We need to literally look at all of our rules and regulations and oversight and the fiduciary application and implication of these technological technologies. Not from our perspective. We need to now go, okay, you have tech coming into our space. So now how are you going to hold the tech guys responsible for the delivery of investment management, especially if they're doing it through a non-registered, non-regulated financial point of view?
Yeah. I was going to ask like a similar question. Like, there was a lot of skepticism at first among regulators and whatnot. Where is that whole space? What do advisors need to pay attention to and to do, if possible, so we can get that sort of in line with where things are technologically?
You have to
talk to me about that.
You have to redefine and redo 80% of the wealth management space.
Just in terms of regulation or the entire scene?
Whole thing.
How does that work?
Your rules and regulations have been the core of them were written in the 1930s and 1940s.
I mean, in the sense of like, what does that restructuring look like?
It's going to be very organic. It's going to be systematic, and it's going to be very disruptive. And it's going to be, as I would say, changed from the inside.
How so?
Because at the core, you have a group of people out there now that are going to bring this technology to market and deliver it through the current structures that we already have in place. And we're going to systematically overhaul everything that's been done. We're going to overhaul our fiduciary standards. We're going to do it from the inside. We are going to wipe out a lot of designations, and we're going to change them from the inside. We are going to change industry conferences and replace those that have traditionally run different fractions, if you will, and focuses, and adapt them for the new age.
So you think this is going to come organically from the industry itself? It's going to sort of pressure outside forces to adapt to it?
Yep. Well, the outside forces are already there, and then the inside forces are going to move the industry.
Have you started to see them move?
We're starting to see it move, yes. Because I already know that people I work with, that I'm friends with, we are all doing this right now. We're going to change the business. I have one friend, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say what firm, but there's a very, very large firm out there, and he wants to put them out of business. And I can tell you from my perspective and seeing what I'm seeing already on social media is we have to do this as an industry as a whole together. That's why the concept of crypto collaborative is like, hey, let's get together over here. Mm-hmm. Let's get out of our traditional stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
Because FINRA is going to get overhauled. SEC is going to get overhauled. The Investment Advisor Act, the Security Exchange, or the Security Act of 33-34, those are all going to get taken away. And then at the same time, you have this aging population that works in our industry that's going to be replaced by the next generation of financial advisors. And we just have a whole new concept and way of doing things. So we already know traditional financial planning is dead. Doesn't work. So CFPs are gone. Elon Musk just came out and said you won't need to save for retirement. There's no need to. It's a ridiculous concept. So Elon Musk just blew up retirement planning, which quite frankly was a made-up concept anyways. Because if you go to see the retirement that was sold that older people are living today, as a person you want nothing to do with that life. So working to the year 65, 70, like are you going to work till you're 72 and then quit working?
No.
Exactly. That's a stupid concept, so that's gone. So think about the trillions of dollars in 401ks that will no longer go in 401ks and IRA accounts. And retirement planners out there that are under your CHFCs and your CRPSs, etc., gone. Right? Like, get it yet?
Yeah.
And I've already systematically built an infrastructure where I can manage $100 billion with this staff I have today. Think about this. Go to any family office or financial advisory firm out there that has $100 billion in management, right? They have staff of 50, 60, 70, hundreds of people, right?
Yeah.
I could do the same job with 10.
I can count our staff with one hand.
Right. Well, we're adding a few others.
Yeah.
But
you get the point.
But you get the point. So it's the banking problem too, and this is what banks are throwing a shit fit about with crypto. Okay, so if you look at profitability of banks, Tether, which is a stablecoin issuer in the digital asset space.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned them last episode. Yeah, they're doing big things.
Right. So Tether's net margins and net profit on, I think they have $180 billion
Mm-hmm.
in custody, whatever you want to call it. They are the top 5 most profitable banks in the United States. JP Morgan has $4 trillion, and Tether is just as profitable.
Yep.
Tether has 300 employees. JP Morgan has 330,000.
Not even close.
Get it yet? So it's a problem for a lot of people because your entire infrastructure is replaced. Your operations are now driven by technology. Your overhead and bottom lines will be better with the adaptation and adoption of technology.
Mm-hmm.
Like your net profit margins, like I could teach someone how to do this, and I bet you I could at least double to triple their bottom line day one.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably get some firms at 20x on it.
Well, that's why we're here.
So okay,
That's
so
why we do what we do.
Right, but I mean, think about it. You don't have to really do anything different outside to retool your operations. And then when you retool your operations, I eliminate all of your overhead and inefficiencies in your back office. And sorry to say, yes, you're going to lose employees. And that's the reality of they should be replaced anyways. No offense to them.
You didn't need them.
But you don't need them anymore. And this is the same that's going to happen with banking will be replaced. Attorneys are out of jobs, which thank God for that across the board, or at least for the most part. You know, a lot of your compliance people are gone, and they should be because they don't do anything but tell people no, right? When I was at Commonwealth, right, we were told your job's not to tell the advisors how to say no, and not your job's not to tell them no. Your job is to figure out how to get them to where they want to go.
Yeah, exactly. So here's how you say no. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
But by default, most compliance departments just become naysayers. They're not looking to help people out and achieve new markets and all that. So then 90% of compliance departments are replaced. And you're going to start seeing this in the BD space, right?
Compliance departments have to be more bold. Like, if I could just go on a quick tangent about this, compliance departments have to be more bold. I mean, without obviously revealing too much, just for legal reasons, like, I have been, you know, as part of our compliance department, have, you know, talked with many state governments about how exactly we're structuring things and, you know, clarifying a lot of what we've been saying to you, the viewer, because a lot of these regulators are behind. As you mentioned earlier, I've seen it firsthand, and we've clarified it to them, and a lot of them are like, so you need to say this, and then do this, and this, and this. Basically just stuff that doesn't make any sense in today's day and age, but it just checks a box for them based on some law that was written 70 years ago. And, you know, most compliance departments would just say, yes, boss, I'll do whatever you want, mommy, and then friggin', you know, find some loophole or something like that, or just, you know, pay off the politician and just, you know, buy into this horrible, corrupt system. It is not hard to say no. And what we've realized and what we've noticed is that more and more these regulators can't do anything because they know where the direction of things are going. And in my experience, at least, whenever we've said no, whenever we've put our foot down, it's them who have buckled. It's them who have said, okay, so why don't we try this?
And I mean, think about that too, is there are a lot of really, really great people and nice people in the regulatory environment.
Yeah, oh my God, a lot of the regulators we've met are such nice people.
So awesome. But the problem is you like them as people and you love them and you're like, it's unfortunate because these people are going to get replaced.
They're no different than like the 69-year-old person working at Target.
If you're an advisor, can you imagine what's going to happen when the SEC shows up at your door and they send AI into your systems to oversee them?
You're done.
You're toast. Think about the level. Now, there are going to be some massive changes and guidelines, and there has to be a framework around that. But imagine if and when the SEC, as an advisor and family office, if as the SEC comes in and they say, we're analyzing your entire book of business across the board, input all your information into our AI system, or they have an AI whatever that plugs into your computer and analyzes all of your content data, communications, investment strategies, decision making, blah, 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 whatever. And within 45 minutes to an hour, here's this entire framework of here's what's good, here's what's not. That's a holy shit moment as an advisor.
Exactly.
Now, and that's the other thing is with the regulators and the regulations is I have a concept in my brain of the next framework of what we do, and I can operate without the need to be regulated by FINRA. I also have the structure where I can I'm no longer I'm no longer required to operate under the guidelines of the SEC. And I can open up to unlimited and limitless borders and boundaries across any nation state line. So I already have that structure and concept in place, and with the delivery of technology, I'm there.
Yeah.
So you just think, like, if you're an advisor or an attorney or a real estate agent, because the collaborative is about all professionals, by the way, and this technology is coming to all of us, but if you're in the financial services industry as a broker-dealer, a family office, an advisor, wealth manager, investment manager, asset manager, 401ks, you're toast, you're going away. Retirement planners, you're gone. Financial planners, you're gone. And 80% of everybody's personnel is now replaced by AI. And you're going to need AI, and I use it because it's more generative technology.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, so I call it, or Gen Tech, let's call it. So
generative AI, Gen Tech.
I'll call it Gen Tech, because I don't like AI per se. But as an advisor, what happens to your firm when the SEC shows up with their version of AI to analyze your business? Do I have your attention yet?
All right, CM Punk.
It's not CM Punk, man. I was on the forefront of bringing fiduciary work to the country and to the advisory space, and this is a whole new level.
Oh yeah.
And I was laughed at when I was told, "Oh, we can't be ERISA fiduciaries." Want to bet? Because that's where it's going.
Where are they now?
Where are you now? Everyone is a 401k advisor. Everyone's a fiduciary. Everyone's an ERISA fiduciary. You're welcome. Now I'm saying, as an industry expert and a guy that's been in the industry, not a crypto bro, because we're anti-crypto bro here. We're not fans of them either. As someone who does this on a day-to-day basis, the same way that you do, I'm saying to you, wake up. You need to look at this now. And by the time your broker-dealer and back office figures it out, they will be out of business.
So that kind of leads me to, I think, the next topic.
No, it's not an overstatement.
Oh, yeah. No, but I think that kind of leads me to the next topic as it relates to what you'll call Gen Tech. Because we've established that it's here. We've established the impact that it has. I'm now kind of wondering, what the insight you can provide is as far as how it works as it relates to the business. Because, a lot of major forces are converging. There's artificial intelligence and large language models, workflow automation, software integration, real-time analytics and data availability programs. There's even some blockchain in there, some blockchain technology, programmable finance that's in there. I'm kind of wondering, what exactly, at least from what you've seen, are the technologies that are you would classify as Gen Tech or Gen Tech adjacent, that are, now in the business as of recently or coming into the business that are powering this shift? What exactly are those technologies and how do they work?
You want the technologies, like the back technologies or the engines, or do you want to talk about the ones that are the interface between the public?
Let's go one at a time, all of it.
Well,
Because, people want to know. People are going to look this up anyway. It's like,
okay,
how do they work?
If you're in real estate, you have to look at the tokenization of real estate. If you're an attorney, you have to understand smart contracts. And really across most engines right now, they can do everything that needs to be done related to real estate and attorney work. If you're a financial advisor and you still think that what we're saying here is complete bullcrap, I would offer you up to look up CFO Sylvia.
What's that?
It is a financial advice and financial planning delivery system. So Sylvia is the AI built by people outside the industry that are now coming into finance because tech is trying to take over money. And maybe they already have. But the delivery for financial planning, investment advice, and asset allocation is now done through an interface and technology. So I get that, because I had this conversation with a good friend of mine who's been in the art space and industry for a long time. I get that, it's kind of like the ostrich approach. Bury your head in the sand and hope the bullet doesn't hit you in the,
where the sun don't shine.
Ass on the way by.
I tried.
Like
he was talking about a donkey.
Yeah,
we're animal lovers here.
No, everybody has their head buried in the sand. And the people that have been doing this job for a long time that are just stuck in their ways are going to get everybody else crushed. Like, if you're a financial advisor, understand the industry is the Titanic right now. And it already hit the iceberg. And technology is the iceberg. And we still need people and blah, blah, blah. I disagree with you because, again, I went back to what I said in the beginning. The financial planning and financial advisory space has trust problems. Why? Because what they sold over the last 50 years doesn't work. So if you go to a place like a retirement community that I was at the other day, where people are asking people like me to help them not be broke anymore because their LPL guy retired and their accounts get kicked out to Arizona and no one services them because they don't meet their minimums anymore.
It's actually a good metaphor, the iceberg, because if you think about it, you're on the Titanic, you hit the iceberg, and then you may think at first, because the only way to survive is to climb off the ship and cling onto the iceberg because the ship is sinking and the iceberg's not. You may think at first, why would I get off of this warm ship onto this cold iceberg in the middle of nowhere? But the reality is that iceberg is going to float you to safety.
Yeah, and it's not even the iceberg, or have a really good boat, right? Because at least on the iceberg, you're still cold. But the point is, the financial planning community and the financial advisory space over the last 50 years, they sold a concept of retirement that no one buys into anymore. And they also sold something that doesn't work because their mathematics are completely wrong. So now retirement planning's gone, saving for college planning is gone, saving in general is gone. Your stocks, bonds, cash are now getting tokenized to crypto. Everything's going to be run by Gen Tech. So technology has hijacked the advisory community, and they're looking to replace advisors.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the service models that have come about because of this?
In terms of, what do you mean by service models?
In the sense of we've seen, subscription style advice, like we've seen technology enabled niche specialization. We've even seen some hybrid human AI advisory experience and stuff like that. What have you seen as far as service models that have come about
Oh,
and are coming about.
I've seen complete 100% robo to hybrids to none at all. And so I don't think the machine should have and will run everything. That doesn't work in my world. I still like the people interface.
Like the machines running everything is bad? What?
Right. So this is the other one. The model that's going to change a lot of stuff is GBT-5.3 codecs.
All right. How's that one work?
You'll have to read up about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking into this now, but...
I saw this documentary one time about why mass machine control of society is bad. I think it was called Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator is a great one. So, the long and the short of it is service model. So, I'm not for the interaction of AI for delivering strategy. Because here's what technology can never do. They can never create from nothing. They operate based on what is already there. Mm-hmm. Right? So
that's the core of machine learning.
Yeah. Core of machine learning, the greatest quantum computer you have available is accessible to all of us, and it's the 6 inches between our ears. And you'll never replace someone like me that's massively creative, especially as it comes to finance and strategy.
A machine can't have imagination.
Machine does not have imagination. And you need imagination, especially when you're dealing with financial situations.
But
can you use technology to deliver the creation in a more precise manner? 1,000,000%.
And I feel like artists in some way are kind of leading the charge on that front when it comes to Gen Tech, because in many ways, Gen Tech has allowed artists to consider new perspectives that then unlock their imagination in new ways. It's sort of like it helps them create a foundation off of which their imagination can then flow in ways that otherwise wouldn't have, because each person has their own unique lived experience and own perspective that in some ways locks the imagination within a certain box. And so, Gen Tech can unlock that in the same way that, like, getting someone else's opinion can, except Gen Tech is made up of, it's like the hive mind from Pluribus. I don't know if you've seen that show.
Yeah, I've seen that show, yeah.
It's
kind of is
terrifying, but
I mean, therapists, think about that from that perspective. Therapists are gone.
It's made up of the collective opinions of everything that is on record.
Right, so...
That show is terrifying, though.
Yeah, I know. But there's some truth to it. And I saw the other day, going to that point,
we just want to help you, Tim.
Hollywood is toast because you don't need actors and actresses anymore. All you need are models. Because we're already at about 30 to 40% of content on social media is being AI generated, or I would say getting the AI makeover. Mm-hmm.
I tried that briefly.
It was funny because what I did with it the other day, as I said, I had this experience where, like, I have my buddy that does my hair, and my friend Adam is a absolute artist with hair. So, but because of my travels, I couldn't get to him. So I ran into the holidays, and your mom, because she wanted my hair to be shorter and look better for pictures, sent me to get my hair cut. I didn't want to go. I'm like, no one's touching my hair except my bud. And I obviously lost that argument, and I had to go to a shop, on my travels. Turned out the girl that did my hair was, cutting hair for about 5 days. Like, brand new. Mm-hmm. And, just does not have the skill set, was very choppy. I mean, she's going to learn over time, right? But the point is, and this is the problem that we also have in our industry, is we have a lot of people claiming they're like family office crypto people, but they're someone trying to take advantage of a new opportunity in finance.
Yeah.
They
And more
have,
often
they
than
have
not,
like no experience here whatsoever.
yeah, more often than not, these people do not have
So
experience
it's
in
like
business whatsoever.
so like when you're out there with a lot of this financial information tied to blockchain technology, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, it's like sitting in a chair at a salon with someone who's cutting hair for about 3 days, versus my friend and my barber Adam, who is an absolute artist and has artistry. So, anyways, the long and the short of it, here's how fun this is with AI, right?
Would you rather buy furniture from, if it was the same price, would you rather
No,
buy
we're
furniture?
not going to furniture. I'm not done yet.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, would you rather buy furniture, if it was the same price, from a professional artisan or Costco?
Well, you're not going to get the same price anyways. You're going to pay more for the artisan.
Mm-hmm.
And we should. It's craftsmanship. I mean, everything looks the same now. It's ridiculous. But anyways, going back to that, yeah, my buddy costs more. So what? I don't care. I pay a premium for performance. You want to be cheap and drive a piece of crap car that breaks down? Good luck to you. That's your decision. I pay a premium for luxury and performance, and I'm happy to do it. So, needless to say, here's how technology is changing things. I'm like, okay, I have an idea of what I want to do with my hair to kind of change some things up, and do something different. So, I'm kind of a Pacific Coast surf guy, right? So I analyze all the different hairstyles that there is in the Pacific surfer world. I upload a selfie that I taken myself, and I completely match my hair to what's gonna be just lights out, look great for me. And then the beauty of it is I can hand it off to my buddy who's an absolute artist who, yeah, I pay a premium for, and he's going to execute it to perfection. But the great news is, and this is the difference now, and why this makes a difference on the bottom line side for anyone who's a business owner, entrepreneur, with this next generation of tech, especially advisors, it's like the hair I already have is maybe small adjustments to it gives me what AI says is the right match. So the delivery is 1,000,000% of what you want, but you still need the artistry behind it to execute. Mm-hmm. And that's what this technology is. So for those people that are artists in the financial space, in the wealth management space, we're never going anywhere. This is just enhancing our craft. But for 80% of the advisors out there that are sitting in independent shops and sitting in banks and Ed Jones and Wells Fargo and Morgan Stanley, those people are going away.
So it's not that then the advisory profession is disappearing. It's more that it's evolving.
It's totally evolving. But at the same time, the question is, are the financial professionals going to lead financial advice, or is tech going to lead financial advice? Mm-hmm. And you are, as a financial professional, in a war that you're not thinking about.
Fundamentally, the firms that embrace this change are going to be the ones that lead the next decade, regardless of whether they're legacy or not.
But you show me what board or what industry, I don't know even what to call them, what part of our industry, whether it's insurance, whether it's investments, whether it's whatever, you tell me who is coming up with a strategy on who's going to control money and finance and financial advice. Tech or the financial professionals? And I let go of my CFP. I find it to be worthless. Sorry, you absolutely dumbed down a very meaningful designation, and there's no standards to the CFP anymore. So the CFP board could make money. And I will stand on that hill. Because I paid a lot of money over these years and I got nothing out of that designation. And I'm telling you, you show me where. They were way too busy pushing their own ethos and collecting fees and selling out so everyone at Morgan Stanley and Edward Jones can be a CFP. So there's no standard there. So you tell me what board in our industry is coming out and saying, hey, we have a massive problem here that we need to solve, and it's tech versus finance. And we're going to get overrun by tech. And a lot of advisors are out there seeing this now because they're picking up the phone and calling me, and I'm meeting with them, and I'm having these conversations. There are, especially younger advisors out there, are seeing the problem. The older advisors don't care because they're going to retire and sell. And there will be plenty of people in the tech space to finance it, right? Because advisors can go sell. You'll have plenty of these tech bros that got rich on Bitcoin or crypto or whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll acquire your book and I'll have my tech run your assets. So for the older population, but for the younger advisors and advisory firms out there, your broker-dealer's not talking about this because they're completely reactive to everything. Your industry conferences and events aren't really talking about this because they're just trying to figure out how to keep the mojo going. And, you then have what's going to be forced down through the Washingtons and the Elon Musks and the Tony Robbins of the world.
Oh, but they will be talking about it.
So yeah, everybody will be talking about it. But that's what I said before with this technology is like literally retirements and retirement planners are gone. So your CHFCs, your CRPSs, you're gone. You've been replaced by this tech. Your CFPs are gone because now you're going to compete with AI systems that are run by people out in Silicon Valley. And the first generation of CFPs, which, as Robert Kiyosaki says, are nothing more than out-of-work teachers that wanted a better gig to make more money and play more golf. That first generation sold everyone financial planning, and then the baby boomers got to retirement and they all became broke. So now financial planning is exposed. And then now your CFAs and your investment management teams are all replaceable. Because, and I saw this firsthand at BlackRock, because at BlackRock, we're a powerful machine and one of the first firms that globally adopt quantum computing and all that jazz. So I saw it firsthand. And now it's going to hit everybody's kitchen table.
Exactly.
So, and then for an advisory firm, like if someone like me can walk in, take what you're doing today and double and triple your bottom line, isn't that worth a conversation?
Exactly.
You just have to be open to ideas, and you have to be detached from employees.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it, because you're going to have to part with people that you've been working with for 10, 20, 15 years. 10, 20, 30, 35, 40 years.
Yep.
And that's just the reality of the age we're in. And the other problem that you have to solve as an advisory firm is you can't just go out and buy this tech. You have to privatize your own Gen Tech stack. And eMoney's gone. Money Guide Pro's gone. Monte Carlo simulations are gone. Morningstar's gone. And I just told you that I have my own system where I could replace even what I did at BlackRock. So, yeah, I think this is transformational technology. And
we'll see where it goes.
And like I said before, I can manage $100 billion with 1% of the manpower now.
So, be sure to obviously subscribe to our newsletter. We talk about a lot of this stuff in much greater detail for advisors.
Yeah, just a casual conversation on a Saturday.
Well, it's kind of casual Saturday. It's not super casual Saturday, considering we just upended the entire industry. But it's casual Saturday for us.
Listen, all I can say is I have a lot of travels coming up in the next couple months, and I'm being asked to some pretty big places and pretty big spaces to help with the adaptation of the next generation. And like I said, there are a group of us now that are going to change this from the inside.
So, pretty much.
Happy Saturday. Happy Valentine's Day. I love the industry. But it's like an old girlfriend. Sometimes you just need to make a change.
So it's not industry. It's not us. It's you.
Yeah, no, it's not you. It's us.
It's the reverse.
It's reverse, right? It's always the it's not you. It's me. I don't know. I never really dated, so what would I know? But
I like that.
But listen, 10-7 Capital, Crypto Collaborative. You have our websites. Just reach out to us. We have a lot of things that we're putting in place that are brand new, and like I said, we're just trying to help the industry adapt. And if we can be a conduit for that, I think that's where we're best positioned, right? Because I can't manage everyone's money. I'm not dumb enough to think I can.
Yeah, I remember somebody asked
We
like,
can spiderweb this thing and network it out and all get in on it together. It can be pretty successful for a lot of us.
I remember somebody said, I forget, it was on a conference or something, but like somebody was like, what do you get out of it? Like, well, it's pretty obvious what we get out of it. We get more networking. Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Yeah. Yep.
Do you not want more networking? Do you not want more opportunities? Everybody gets more networking. Everybody gets more opportunities.
Right.
That's what's in it for us.
And the people that can come together and collaborate in the beginning and can spiderweb this out, everybody's going to be 100 times more successful.
That's what's in it for everybody.
And the other thing is, it's, I think we need to rewrite the fiduciary standard. So, that's a conversation that is top of the list now.
For sure. But stay tuned for that. Obviously, be sure to like, subscribe, share. Like we said, make sure to subscribe to the newsletter to stay on top of everything that's been going on in the Crypto Collaborative and our latest ideas that come out every month. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it from us. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it. From our delivery all the way down to the kitchen tables across the country.
I think we summed that up pretty succinctly.
Fantastic.
So keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this tech. Cheers. Thanks for watching.